All right, good afternoon. I just thought it was really important to get out to our school community so you can see what we've been doing the last couple of days. You haven't heard from us, I don't think, since Monday evening was the last time I put a post out or any communication. And I just thought it was really good for us to just touch base and front load families and give you a bit of an idea about what's to come for remote learning the second time round here at Skipton Primary School. Before we begin, I just thought it was really important for us to say thank you. We had a really short space of time. I think we found out on Sunday evening that we were transitioning to remote learning on Monday. It was a pretty busy day trying to get kids sent home with devices and all the things that they needed, books and obviously texts for reading as well. I just wanted to say a big thanks to families for your support at this time. Thanks for wearing masks on Monday. I've got mine here. Thanks for wearing your masks around the school on Monday. And also, thank you so much for giving us the time this week to get ourselves organised. We hope that the pack that we sent home on Monday is being really well used and being really well received. We're really grateful for the time to get this right. Our staff have been working super hard. This is masks on, and we've been in for 2 days now, planning remote learning the second time round. And it's fair to say that it's been a really busy 2 days. I think it's really key to note before I start that the first program that we ran here at Skipton Primary as a new principal coming in, it was the first taste of teaching and learning I got at this school, and I was immensely proud of what our teachers put together in a really short space of time for that 6 weeks of learning. However, it's fair to say, like every school in the state, we have learned lessons. And our goals for the last 2 days is that we've wanted to develop a program and become far more sustainable for our teachers, for our families, and for our kids. Because whilst this period of remote learning is 6 weeks, I don't want to be a negative or glass half full, but we don't know how many times we might have to do this again, and we don't know how long we might have to do this stint for. So to ensure that it's sustainable for everybody in our community is really important to us. We want our program of teaching and learning to be predictable for teachers and for families, and we want it to be the most effective it can be. And whilst I think we did a really amazing job the first time, a really incredibly strong job we did, we admit that there's, particularly in the areas of sustainability, we need to do a little bit more work on and mix things up a bit. And what we're aiming to provide, so all the research coming out at this early stage about effective remote and flexible learning programs, is that this is what kids are asking for. They're asking for connection to their peers and to their teachers, and we're going to provide that for you. They're asking for clarity from their teachers, and whilst we provided that in a written sense and we provided that in conferences, we're going to step that up a notch as well. And they're asking for feedback, and I think we did that really well the first time, and we'll continue to do that well the second time. But this is how we're going to do it, and this is what we're looking to achieve, and that's been our work for the last 2 days. Ooh, there we go. So let's have a chat about the packs. You will be able to pick up a learning pack for week 5, which is next week, this Friday. They'll be at the school all day. It'll be one pack for families. We'll just keep a quick eye out. Oh, sorry, when I say one pack for families, it'll be one pack that's the same, but each kid will get one. So if you've got 4 kids in your family, everybody will have one. But pickup day is this Friday. Please come into the school at any stage and collect. And if you can't do that on short notice, just give us the school a call, and we're happy to make arrangements so that everybody can get their learning packs ready for Monday morning. I'll have a bit of a chat about moving forward at the end with these packs. So for every student in every class of our school, beginning Monday, they'll be asked to do 5 things each day. Every day from Monday to Thursday, your child, whether they're in grade prep or grade 4 or grade 6, will have a reading task, a writing task, a word study task, a maths task, and a skills task. Now, it's important to note that all these tasks put together may not last 7 or 8 hours or 6 hours. They may last 4 on some days and 5 on others. But every single day there are 5 tasks. And on Friday, you'll notice there are 5 tasks, but the structure is a little different. Everybody will have a designated time to do a science or sustainability task, a library task, an arts task, an Auslan session, and a PE task. And that is the way that every child in our school will have their learning. This is our new timetable. It's something that we didn't put together the first time, and certainly we were trying to work out what on earth this remote and flexible learning was like the first time. But we've effectively, just like we would do for face-to-face learning, created a timetable for our school. You'll notice on the left-hand side, every Monday, your child will be invited to a whole class meeting. You can see the grade 4s and Miss Pollock will kick it off at 9 o'clock, and the other grades are slotted into a certain time on Monday. Strongly encourage your children to log in at this time. This is the most crucial time. Your teachers will check in with your children, see how the learning went from last week, be able to provide some feedback about how the class went in particular tasks, and set the scene for the next week of learning. You'll notice on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday between 9 and 12, the thing that we are going to value the most here, and we found huge success with in pockets of our school last time, is we're going to be running group conferences. Some children, perhaps in the earlier years, might get 2 of these a week. You might have 2 20 to 30 minute sessions where your child is with the teacher and 3 or 4 other children. Some of the classes, maybe the older students, maybe not, each week will only have 1 conference. Okay, every child in the year level will get the same amount of conferences, but it may be 1 or 2 just depending on the week and the teacher's planning. Those will take place from 9 till 12. And our teachers this Friday will send each of the families an email giving you an idea about when those times are. And on Friday, we're going to begin conferences on a rotating basis for arts, science, sustainability, library, and Auslan to try and ensure that students, if they have questions, have access to those teachers as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll explain the incidentals in a future slide. So the pack that you're going to get this week, parts of it are going to look similar to the pack that came out this week. There may be a page and a focus for reading, and there will be a number of activities. The key advantage of this setup is that if your tasks are too easy or too hard as a family, okay, or students of the older age group are able to access tasks that are a step up and access tasks that are a step easier or simpler. If students finish early, if you've got a student in grade 2 or grade 3 who excels in maths, who's ready for the next step in maths and finishes that task early, by all means, we would love to see students stepping up and doing the grade 4 task in that example. And also for larger families, what we're trying to do in a number of our learning areas and a number of our tasks is try to have a similar focus throughout Prep to 6, which enables some collaboration at the dining table where families are working, but also enables those mums and dads who are at home who are trying to lead learning not to have 4 different programs all happening at once. It's 4 variations of a similar focus. So there is one thing that's a pretty big shift that we want our community to make. In the last lot of remote learning, I think it's fair to say that our teachers worked as hard as they've ever worked. I think the teachers at this school work incredibly hard in regular learning time or in regular face-to-face teaching. But during remote learning, what we did was unsustainable. We could not continue that for another 6 weeks, okay? And it's really important that we just structure up how we want extra help. At times, learning will come out and students will want extra support or extra time with the teacher. Or parents might have clarifying questions about the learning that's being put out. We would strongly advise that you email your teacher. And that information will come out in the pack this week. And your teachers from 12 to 1, Tuesday to Friday, have allocated this time in for incidentals, for those things that may sometimes happen. During that time, okay, teachers commit to checking their emails, making sure that they can respond by either clarifying the situation right there. So what we ask families to do is just shoot an email to your teacher, just identify what the concern is, and our teachers will get back to you. What we need to reduce the need for is teachers receiving 16, 17, 18 emails throughout the day. And it comes from a really good place. Everybody wants to help your children, and I know that you want help for your children. But what we did the first time was highly unsustainable and unmanageable. So I ask you to please put your requests in email. Our teachers will always respond to you, but it may not be within 20 minutes. It might not be until midday the next day. Let's talk about the packs that are coming out and what we've been doing today and yesterday. Each week we've got a theme. So you would have noticed I put the picture of the toucan, and the focus this week was one step at a time. Well, rumour is that there is a tennis ball going home in the packs this Friday, and the focus is something along the lines of bouncing into remote learning. I heard that from Mrs. Britton today, but there's definitely a theme around a tennis ball. I've heard a theme around a dice that might be going home, and I've also heard some themes about, well, not puppy dogs playing poker, but a deck of cards going home. So stay tuned. Each week there'll be something a little different that goes home that supports the learning, and that'll be the same for the family. So some things that stay the same for our program: 5/6s, send your work to Mr. Baker, just as normal, and you've already got that set up. P to 4s, we're going to collect your work in a scrapbook each week and swap it over just like we did last time. Nothing changes there. I've mentioned already that the collection and drop-off day is now Friday in preparation for the new learning week on Monday. For this Friday, please come to the school. Next week, we're just going to survey families and try and use some other alternatives. Some families may only need the program emailed to them, and if you want to print that at home, it saves you a trip into the school. That's terrific. Also, we might provide the opportunity, if there's demand there, for the program to be delivered on the bus, just on the normal bus route in the afternoon, and you can drop off your scrapbook, pick up your new pack, and that saves you the need to come into school each week. So early next week, we'll send out a survey and get some information from families about whether you'd want to take that up and make plans by the end of next week. But for this Friday, please come into the school, everybody. Key thing that I've said to our teachers, and I want to say it to our kids and our families as well, where our mindset here at this school is really clear, is that on the left-hand side, what I see is a puppy dog surviving the heat or surviving the day, and that is not what we are doing here in remote learning. The key thing for us to do is not to have a mentality just to get through the next 6 weeks, just to get through the next 6 weeks of remote learning, but to make sure that we don't just survive, that we thrive and make the best of it that we possibly can. And we're committed here at this school to ensuring the most effective teaching and learning program with the tools that we have available, even if our students aren't here in front of us every day. So please have a think about ensuring that it's not just getting through the next 6 weeks, but it's making the next 6 weeks as good as they possibly can be. And a final thing to let you know is I've given a lot of information. We're going to put this all into a newsletter, and normally it goes out Friday, but it's going to go out tomorrow, just to make sure everybody has all the information ready to go. So you'll have a newsletter come out tomorrow during the day. I need to let you know something really obvious for our families of 5/6, that the camp that was scheduled for about 4 weeks away is not going to go ahead at that time. I know that our staff have already been in contact to look for different dates. So stay tuned, and we're doing the best we can to get something up for those 5/6s this year. And obviously our spaghetti lunch at this stage, we haven't planned an alternative, but it looks like that obviously won't be able to run for now. Just to wrap up, a final thing I wanted to say is thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Happy to take questions throughout the next couple of days. Get ready for your learning pack on Friday. The final thing is, when we put this video up on Facebook, which will be in a few minutes, I know that the task that was there, the family task for today, was to cook a meal and to write down the steps. I know a couple of kids have already shot in their pictures of them cooking or their family cooking. So throughout the evening, just in the comments below, if you want to show your family favourite, the recipe that you've written up and the recipe that you've made, we'd love to see the photos of you, because your teachers and your school really miss you this week. So I hope you have a really good week, and I'm sure I'll see many of your families coming in and on Friday to pick up your packs. Have a good day.